This leader is provided to permit the projectionist to complete adjustment of focus and sound level before the film begins.
Stand by for action.
Health and wealth. Health and wealth. Health and wealth.
This is the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
And now, one of the most popular segments of our program. It's the legal disclaimer. All matters discussed on the Health and Wealth Show are for informational purposes only. Each individual situation may vary, and the opinions expressed here may not apply to everyone. Materials presented are believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations can be made as to their accuracy. All ideas and information should be discussed in detail with one of our highly qualified representatives prior to implementation. And that is your legal disclaimer. And while I have your attention, have you called David Ernest? Call him right now at 279-7431 or 205-479-0839. Let David Ernest put your feet on the path to financial security. Call David Ernest today.
The Health and Wealth Show will return with everyone's favorite asset preservationist, that boyishly good-looking David Ernest, who bears a striking resemblance to Obi-Wan Kenobi or Jabba the Hutt. I can't make up my mind.
A long time ago, in a galaxy way out of town.
Commander, give me the status report on my portfolio.
Well, Lord Vader, the stock market is quite unstable.
What do you mean it's unstable?
Well, it's been unstable for months, sir. Our technicians can't override it.
And in light of this, you haven't called David Ernest?
Well, sir, I just didn't think he could help us.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Lord Vader, emergency on deck 3.
What is it?
The cookie machine is broken again.
Do I have to do everything on this Death Star?
Don't worry, my lord. I'll call David Ernest. 279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
See that you do.
Don't get force choked and get on the boss's bad side. Call that financial Jedi, David Ernest, 279-7431 or 205-479-0839. Call him today, and may the force be with you.
From our super secret studio, somewhere up the street but nowhere near Tatooine, David Ernest brings you the Star Wars edition of the Health and Wealth Show. Don't get in a war with your portfolio. Be a star and call David Ernest, 279-7431 or 205-479-0839. Now, here he is, the man who reminds you, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Use the Force and please welcome, David Ernest.
There he is, right there.
Yes, and tell those droids to quiet down when they yell like that. It hurts my ears.
I know. Hey, is that Matthew right here, right there?
The Force is strong with you.
There he is. How you doing?
I like that intro. I'm doing good.
You like that? Well, you know, it is Star Wars Day.
May the Force be with you.
May the Fourth be with you. And
May the Force be
May the Fourth be with you, because May the Fourth. It's also my grandmother's birthday. It's my sister-in-law's birthday. Somebody else's birthday, but it is.
That's a lot of stuff to have to deal with. You better have
an easy one to remember.
Well, and I think later when I go home, if I get home, because we got a conflagration going on here in the neighborhood. I might watch the original Star Wars just for the heck of it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I got that Disney thing, you know, and it's got them all on there.
It's on, yeah. We've got.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw Star Wars was in Montgomery, Alabama, in 1977. I wasn't even living here. I was just here as a transplant temporarily for about 10 weeks, I think. And we went and saw this little movie called Star Wars. And, you know, I thought that's very interesting. Had no earthly idea it was going to be such a hit.
Well, you know, a bunch of us used to get together every Sunday afternoon. I think they used to change the movies. They may still do it on Thursday or Friday.
Mm-hmm.
New stuff would be out. We would go Sunday afternoon and go to the movies. And I think it was, my Lord, if it was $1 to get in, then I'd be surprised. And we didn't know what it was. And my suggestion, I said, well, let's try this out. and we were all just like dumbfounded, man. I think, in those days you didn't have any DVR or DVD or cable.
No.
So if you want to see it again, you had to go to see
Pay
it.
again.
You had to pay again. Yeah.
It was the theater out there in the Montgomery Mall parking lot.
I remember. That's where I saw it.
That's where we might have been at the same show, and I don't know.
That would be amazing. Wouldn't that be something if we could go back in time?
And Matthew was not even born yet.
No.
I wasn't even a globular. No.
Wasn't even thought of.
No.
But speaking of,
I was born. I was sorry. I think it was a year before Return of the Jedi.
I was going to say you came in a little later on in the series. But speaking of the Jedi and knowing the ways of the Jedi, I know a guy that knows the way of the financial Jedi. He's the Obi-Wan Kenobi of asset preservationists, and his name is David Ernest. And if you're, we got a storm coming this evening. But if you're looking down the road with finances, there's a storm coming with that too.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people since last few years have been putting those storm shelters in their yard. There's always one in the neighborhood, But that might be the thing you want to look at is getting yourself storm sheltered as far as your finances go. All you have to do, you can pick up the phone, call David Ernest at 279-7431. Matthew, you got yours?
I got it. 205-479-0839. Anybody that can hear it.
That's exactly right. Just call that number, talk to David Ernest, and they'll set up a time for you to come by. You can do it on Zoom. You can meet him at the Waffle House, whatever you want.
Or the Death Star.
Or the Death Star. Well, I think that's still under repair. I think they're still working.
The warp
I think there's one down in Disney, right? I mean, that'd be a good place to be.
Yeah, but that ain't no moon. But you can go talk to David Ernest, and you can use the Jedi mind trick on the folks that are trying to mess with you. 279-7431 or
205-479-0839.
There you go. And I got a few more Star Wars things coming up too. I think you know who Eddie Izzard or Eddie Izzard is?
Yeah.
He's this British comedian. I got some real good stuff from him. He talks about the canteen in the Death Star. They got to have some place to eat.
Right.
So everybody has to eat.
Yeah, that'll be
drones. Well, no, they're mechanical.
Yeah. But I was hooked on the Star Wars stuff from the beginning. I'm a big collector. And I got friends who bring me stuff that they find, and my wife is wanting to kill them. You got to think about that. They were fighting the evil empire.
Yeah, the dark side.
Yes.
The emperor.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Evil emperor.
Yes. The effects of the evil power, can be only felt once it's too late. That's I read that. That's something.
That's pretty.
This long bull market has been driven by many positive factors, including global monetary stimulus. We know about that one, right? Strong corporate earnings. Those are coming up. Low interest rates, which are about to not exist again.
Mm-hmm.
Solid economic data that is coming back around. They say it's really coming back fast. While those tailwinds now have been a boon for investors, and I mean a significant boon, there's these headwinds that are lurking in the future. When you're on a ship, and I'm not talking about a rocket ship, I'm talking about a sail ship. These headwinds can mess you up.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing can happen in the financial arena. These headwinds that are coming, we see them coming, we feel them coming. The weather can be predicted. Well, they're predicting these headwinds are coming right at us. And while these headwinds have been a boon for investors, headwinds lurk everywhere. And as the emperor alluded, one can be blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
Paying attention to potential headwinds, including slowing corporate earnings, weaker global economic growth, above average market valuations, in other words, too high, and increase in market volatility are important things to manage and you need a force with you to do this.
There you go.
You need a power with you to control this.
Yes, you know that's what the force does. It reaches out. It's in everything, and
yes,
it's I can't remember. It's in the it's not in the future. It's in the past. Remember, it's a long time ago or a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So yeah,
exactly.
We should.
But these things are not far away. They're right at your fingertips, and you don't know it. Like the power of compound interest. That's power. But what about the power of reverse compound interest? I bet you didn't know what that one was. And if you don't, you need to give me a call. And you guys can, we'll say the number again in a minute. So the power of compound interest and the power of reverse compound interest. What about the power of asset preservation? In other words, what if when they shot these Death Stars, shot the ray at something, there was a shield that could come out and deflect it? You need a deflector to deflect the ray of destruction.
Kind of like when the coyote tried to hypnotize the roadrunner. He had a mirror.
Yeah, that
hypnotized the road.
Exactly. You need a mirror. You need to deflect the things that are coming at you, and they're going to come at the last second. In other words, you're right now. There's the weather is being predicted. You know, they talk about space weather. You know, they've been talking about space weather lately, about solar flares and all these things that could come out and get you. They said if you had been on the moon a few times and these solar flares had happened, you wouldn't be sitting on the moon. You would probably be somewhere else. Who knows? But you definitely wouldn't be breathing, not even through an oxygen tank. But so you've got to be ready for these flares, these rays, ray guns, whatever these
Ronald Reagan?
The Ronald Reagan. He was that little guy. You make me so angry. I am so. No, that was a different Martian.
Yeah, he had a helmet.
By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but they used to tell us, and it's true, we used to fall victim to sunspots. The actual solar flares would interrupt radio waves.
Exactly.
You would have your radio on. You're used to listening to nice,
exactly,
clear, and you'd be getting all kind of static in there. So
exactly.
Yeah, 93 million miles from here, and it can reach out and snag us.
And so when interest rates rise, it can interrupt your growth of your portfolio. It actually can make you have negative growth. It actually can destroy your retirement ship. It can destroy your mechanisms that you're using to get you to where you're supposed to go, your engine, so to speak. It can mess up your starship, if you want to call it that. The thing is, you got to know what these things are, and if you see this space weather, as in Star Wars, you know, if you see these dark clouds coming, like tonight we see these dark clouds coming, supposedly we may even have some more tornadoes, I've heard. I don't know. The thing is, we don't know. So because of all of these uncertainties, and then you hear all of these propagandas. I call it propaganda. Like Ken Fisher said, don't buy annuities. You know, what's Ken Fisher know about annuities? Really? And you know, I'm going to tell you something. People who were in annuities when the stock market crashed love annuities. They love them. You know why? Because they didn't crash if they bought the right ones. Okay, or they got invested, I guess bought's a bad word, invested in the right one. So what are some of the tools of fighting against these things that could come at us and destroy our portfolio?
Well, I defer to Matthew because I'll bet he knows a whole lot more about that than I do.
I know one thing. You can pick the phone up if you want to know more, and you can reach out and get in touch with Ernest Financial at 334-279-7431, or you can dial 205-479-0839 if that's your preferred area code.
Yeah, talk to David Ernest today. Man's been doing this for like 40 years. You know,
41.
You know,
40 in the Bible a lot. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
These aren't the droids. you're looking for.
Moss Isley.
No.
Never will you find a more wretched, what is it? Wretched something of scum and villainy.
In Star Wars, the Jedi, Master persuaded the stormtroopers to not arrest the main character, but instead focus their attention elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Heeding this advice for investment portfolios is a good thing too. In other words, Ken Fisher's advice, that's not the droid you're looking for.
I think he's on the dark side, man.
Yeah,
that could
I
be a
think
dark side.
Those tricks only work on the weak-minded.
Yeah, on the weak-minded. In a potential rising interest rate environment, Ken Fisher, where are you? Dave Ramsey, where did you go? Did you float away with the Dark Star?
They're over
the Death Star?
They're over at Moss Isley.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that little bar over there.
So, bonds could be destroyed. Yes, not bombs. Bonds. Yeah, I guess you could use bombs to destroy them or to protect yourself. U.S. Treasury and foreign bonds could go, they could go way down if these interest rates go up. Furthermore, when compared to domestic bonds, foreign bonds have significantly lower yields. You may have them, Princess Leia in Empire Strikes Back, for example, suggests that Han Solo has moments that are good, but moments that are bad. So right now we're having moments that are good in the stock market, but he may be a bad boy and he may not be a good boy. He may not be behaving himself. So essentially this market can turn on you. The dark side can turn on you, So
don't turn into a Kylo Ren. Don't you dare do
these PE ratios could turn on you. So during this current bull market, and yes, we are calling it a bull market, we have this expectation of all this growth, but we have this most disastrous volatility that we probably never had in years and years, maybe in the last 60 years. And, so you got to brace yourself. Your portfolio's got to be bracing against sharp market fluctuations because you've got to be ready for the dark side.
Ooh.
Yes.
Spooky.
Now, in my experience, there's no such thing as luck. Not really. No. In Star Wars, after Luke Skywalker successfully passes training sessions, Han Solo says he was just lucky. When Obi-Wan Kenobi counters with this quote, in investing, it is more important to have skill and not just rely on luck.
There you go.
Market pullbacks can really mess you up. Don't rely on luck. Have the power, not of the dark side, but the power that you really need to have. And that is education, know-how, and the products, which if I guess in the Star Wars definition would be the opposite of the dark side.
There you go.
And what would you call that?
The non-dark side.
The non, I like that. But I found out something today, and I think it was in the second movie that Yoda passes away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Empire Strikes Back.
I finally found out what his final words were, because for the longest time, Luke and Leia didn't know they were brother and sister. And so Yoda's dying words were, "Kissed your sister."
Yeah, that was kind of goofy. Well, goofy. You will be. The Force is an invisible thing.
Yes.
It can either be good or bad, the dark side or the good side,
Mm-hmm.
And it's fueled by negativity. Negativity. Oh, don't go talk to David Ernest. He'll put you in something that you don't want. Negativity. But then you have these folks that say, hey, I wish I had put more in there. I'm glad I did it or whatever. Why? Because I didn't lose. I didn't lose my assets.
That's some of that empire propaganda right there.
Yeah, that's it, right. The bull market has continued to storm along and they're not with stormtroopers. It's just clicking along. But you know what? There's a lot of dark-sided elements in this thing.
Well, you know, there are a lot of people, they're not so much worried about your money making money for you. They've got to have that money there to make money for them. So, you know, as long as it's there, they're still making their commission, I guess. And, you know, if something happens to your money, oh, well, it'll come back.
Yep. You know, heeding the words of key Star Wars characters can offer solid investment advice. And that's the deal. You know, we're led to believe that, harnessing the true power of the Force requires discipline, clarity of mind, and dedicated focus. Okay. And we continue to advocate this for setting clearly articulated investment goals. But we also realize that the older we get, the riskier the stock market becomes for us. So staying the force while we're young, using the force of the stock market is very, very important, but also using the clarity of mind like Yoda, the clarity of mind like Obi-Wan Kenobi, the clarity of mind like an asset preservationist will use in these times that we see. We see that this market will not continue. We know it will not continue these ups. We understand it has to take a breather. We understand it's got to do a correction. We understand that this correction could be the worst that's ever been since the 1929 correction. Why? Because it has gone up so high. You know, like it's not pie in the sky high, it's just too high. So imagine that the Death Star is cranking up and is about to do something that could cause some problems. And I just heard a problem.
What's that?
Sounds like a siren.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing those sirens right now too.
If that's over where you are, I can hear it through whatever you're using right there. Our lights have been blinking here a little bit. It's supposed to get kind of nasty here in just a little bit. So hopefully we'll be able to stay on the radio. And Rich Thomas, you know, Rich Thomas, he's all over it. So, you know, just to keep your radios tuned to some Blue Water station.
Yeah, you need to keep tuned. So you see, the thing is, you never know when the dark side comes in, you know, and it's going to just mess things up. And that's where I'm coming from. This stock market could be blown away, instantaneously blown away at any time. And it could be a dark-sided day. It could be the darkness of investing if it happens. You do not want to be a casualty of these particular situations.
There you go.
You need to have clarity, and you need to know that there's things that you can do to rescue you from anything that's unknown. You need to have an Obi-Wan Kenobi on your side.
There you go.
You need to have a stormtrooper that's converted over to the good side on your side. You need to have a droid that can help you. That we have all kinds of technology in this arena here. We used all kinds of droids are sort of like technology. But you know, when someone says something that's not true, you need to have someone that has mind power to steer you in the right direction. Like, those are not the droids you want.
There you go.
Those are not the investments you want. That is not the path you want to take. Don't listen to the dark side. Don't listen to the Ken Fishers of the world if you're older. Don't listen to the folks that are leading you in the wrong direction. Listen to the words of security. Listen to the words of perseverance. Listen to the words.
Ken Fisher is like Jar Jar Binks.
I know it.
There you go. We finally came up with something for him.
Well, you know, he's in bed with Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
that's kind of bad, isn't it?
That's terrible.
So hopefully he doesn't have high cheekbones. But anyway, No, when I say they're in bed together, I'm talking about they want to take the American public and have them do things that cost them more money, in my opinion, than it should. They want to do things, and listen, I'm not against the methods that they use for people that are ready to go into the market or should stay in the market. What I am putting out here is a warning that there could be a Death Star, and it could be the death of the retirement. You know, you don't want to be shot with a death ray in your retirement years. You don't want something that could destroy what you have built up in your retirement years. And if you could jump to what do they call that? Fast speed,
light speed,
hyper speed,
or
hyper speed, and stay away from those things. And then when you get away from them, go back down to the real speed and live your life at ease without, feeling the need to go back into the speed again. In other words, when you're building your portfolio, you're on light speed. You're going real fast. But if you hit one of those asteroids while you're going real fast, it could knock you off course.
Knock you back.
If you hit one of those asteroids,
yeah.
It could mess up your ship, and then now you're just sitting there and doing nothing.
Right.
So once you get to where you want to be, you want to slow that speed down a little bit and make sure you conserve your assets.
See, I crashed into an asteroid just then. You didn't even see it coming. It's time for us to take a short break and some more Star Wars stuff in the break for you. And we'll be right back, and we'll talk more about Star Wars and the Force and how it all surrounds your finances and your portfolio, and how a Jedi like David Ernest can help you out. So what you need to do is just stay right where you are and don't go away. And see, I got the button pushed. All right. How about that?
May the Force be with you.
We do appreciate you tuning in to the Health and Wealth Show. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.